Take me to the water. Take me to the water to be baptized. Welcome to season 5, episode 19 of the Scandalous Scandal Recap. I'm Larry Brown Jr., joined with the lovely, the fabulous, the talented, the courageous Janiyah Wright, as her screen says. Janiyah, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, LBJ. Hi, everybody. I am so excited for the chat tonight. LBJ, tonight's episode of Scandal was juicy.
Ooh, juicy. It's so juicy. It got my cup so wet. Look at this. It just started seeping through my cup here in my room. It's got so juicy tonight.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
That's juicy.
It was condensation everywhere, just like sweating off of the cup.
Oh my, so corny. I love it.
It's so corny, but it's so good. And you know what else is so good? That we are here again tonight for another Scandal recap. We know that you all could be any place else, but you decided to be here for the Scandal recap. Remember, if you are chatting with us tonight, use the hashtag #. Look at me sound like a grandpa. Look at me sound like a grandpa. Hashtag Scandal Recap. And you can also tweet me at my name at the bottom of the screen, Larry Brown Jr., or you can tweet Janiyah at the Janiyah Wright. If you're watching us live on the Google Plus page, hey, what's up? You can also join and post comments in the Q&A or on the Google Plus page, and you can post in YouTube. And Janiyah, I hope you have the sound effects on standby. I think we need a drum roll for something that we have to tell the people tonight.
LVJ, I am ready, and I will cue sound effects now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our first time broadcasting live in conjunction with CAU-TV in Atlanta, Georgia, in over 1 million households. So you've helped the Scandalous Scandal Recap grow.
I cannot believe it. I am so excited. And to be a part of all possible networks that we could be a part of is Clark Atlanta University, LBJ, at HBCU, this wonderful network in where? No other place, Atlanta. Come on. This is so exciting. And we're just so excited. And we thank everyone so much for your support. This is a whole new day for us, LBJ.
It is. It's a whole new day for us. And guess what? It came even many episodes into the half of the second season, the second half of the season, with only 2 more episods left of this show. But guess what? We're going to rock it out.
We're going to get them good. We're going to get them good.
Episode 1, okay?
That's right. We're going to get them good.
Give them something to talk about, people. Give them something to talk about. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Janiyah, B-School Brian, B-School Jump Off, made moves tonight in Scandal. We know his name is Michael, Cyrus's official second husband. First of all, let me just get this out of the way, okay?
Yes.
Shout out to Cyrus and James' daughter that you all have been wondering about in the Hangout every single week. She is alive, she is well, and I'm happy to report that her edges are intact. You don't have to worry about them anymore.
And LBJ, is it just me, or was she 15 years old? I just didn't think she would be quite that old yet. Has it been that many years? She should be like 2 or something, right? I feel like they aged her up a little bit, but that's all right.
I think they might have swapped her out. I don't know if that's the same girl. I think the other girl had a little more cocoa in her skin for the first time.
Yeah, they aged her up a little bit, but that's okay. We were just happy to see her. And LBJ, we also, in seeing her, we were getting a snapshot once again, a peek into the life of Cyrus and Mike, who we call B-School Mike, right?
B-School Mike.
LBJ, we probably need to step back and remind ourselves about the context for this relationship. LBJ, can you just tee this up for us, LBJ, of how Cyrus and Michael came to be together?
Absolutely. But before I do that, Dan Blakemore's in the Hangout, and he totally agrees with you, Janiyah. He says, who knew that we'd actually get to see Cyrus and James's daughter? She seems to be growing quicker than baby Teddy. That's the thing. You grow up, you pop a baby in the microwave, and you're good. It's good to go, okay?
That's right.
I grew up.
That's right. Boy,
Okay. So here's what's happening. Here's what's going on. As we know, a season and a half ago, Cyrus got involved with B School Mike, B School Brian, the guy who was working in DC as a high paid escort for other gentlemen callers. Cyrus got caught with said escort, and they gladiated the situation to cover Cyrus's tracks, and Cyrus eventually married this man. Cyrus has been going home to this man happily for a few months, but fast forward to this presidential cycle that we're in, Cyrus has been creeping on him with who? Tom the Goon. Tom and Cyrus have been smashing and dashing, and all the things have been in all kinds of passion. There we go, smashing and dashing and all kinds of passion. That's what we've been doing. And what happened is, one of the presidential candidates' brothers, from the Vargas camp, Brother Vargas, as we like to call him, Brother Vargas, teed B School Mike off, and he said, he cued him in, and he said, "Look, your husband is cheating on you with this guy here. Don't believe me? Here's how it go. Look at this picture. Look at this video." B School Michael became a believer, and he called Cyrus on the carpet. And once after he called Cyrus on the carpet, Cyrus threatened this man. It was like, "Look, you don't want to keep pulling the thread out of this material because it's going to keep unraveling, and you're going to get yourself in trouble." Cyrus essentially told this man, "I will kill you." He just told him, "I will make you move out." He didn't say, "I'll make you move out of life." That's what he meant. "I will make you move out of life. I will kill you." It's what Cyrus essentially was telling.
We know what Cyrus means.
And so B School Mike essentially finds fear in Cyrus's statement, and he sits down with Cyrus, and they have this whole come to Jesus meeting. In the come to Jesus meeting, we later find out, based on what happened and what was leaked to the media from Senator Vargas, we learned that Cyrus gave B School Mike a flash drive because Brother Vargas was requesting some information from him about Cyrus and the killing in Harrisburg that Cyrus set up with Tom the Goon to make Senator Vargas look like a hero. And B School Mike delivers this flash drive with this alleged information of Cyrus's text messages, calls, emails from that entire week. Well, as it turned out, there was a whole encryption on there that caused the files of Senator Vargas to be sent to the media as if it were sent from Antonio, his brother. And he sent that. Is that his name, Antonio? Antonio Vargas is someone. That's an act. Thank you, Alex. It was sent from Brother Alex's email to the media, thus linking those photos back to him. Senator Vargas he wants to send him out. He says, "You're fired, get out." Cyrus looking like, "Told you, honey boo boo child, you should have done that." And that is what happened tonight with Cyrus. Janiyah, what did you think about Cyrus's power play and all that transpired with him tonight?
Oh my gosh, LBJ, this storyline was so good to me. Okay, first of all, we have to just remind everyone about the context in which we're finding Cyrus right now. Cyrus, as you know, his time was up in the White House. He couldn't get it right anymore on the Republican side of the House. And so he concocted this master plan to get himself involved in the Democratic campaign through all sorts of creeping and crawling and shucking and jiving and it's creeping in the night like a thief in the night. He made his way onto he masterminded, number one, and then made his way onto the campaign of Governor Vargas. I'm sorry, is he Senator? Senator Vargas?
Yes, Senator.
Governor. He's a governor. Governor Vargas, to make his way to the White House. Now, all of this campaign, we all know that Governor Vargas has been manipulated into role. Manipulated how? Manipulated by, basically Cyrus concocting a heroic moment for him and making sure that the media was aware of it. Right. And so there's a whole manipulation that's laying around in the background. Cyrus has made his way now to the Governor Vargas campaign. He's in there, LBJ, but there's all this backstory that hasn't made its way out yet. But who's hot on the trail? Governor Vargas's brother, Alex. Oh, he's figuring it out. He's figured out that Cyrus has this relationship with Tom. Tom was the goon that helped Cyrus to even, manipulate Vargas into this campaign. Brother Vargas, he's hot on the trail. made his way to Michael, tried to form a strategic alliance. Cyrus cut him off at the knees, okay? So it's really interesting to watch, number one, Cyrus in his political context. You know, he had an opportunity to be a more virtuous kind of politician, right? He had that chance. He had a clean slate, LBJ, and you know what? Cyrus is up to his old tricks. So it's just so interesting to watch Cyrus do what he does. When we watched him in the context of his relationship with Fitz, we always kind of thought of him reacting to situations. Not this time. He's creating the situations and then reacting to them. So it's really interesting to watch Cyrus and on this other political sphere, LBJ, acting in his same old way.
Yeah, everybody else agrees with you in the hangout as well, Janiyah. I mean, Rakira is here, Ida Matrix, Dr.
Hey, Rakira!
We also have, also
Yay!
all the way from Toronto is 1977 CYN. I believe that's Cynthia, 1977. Hey, all the way from Toronto. And Kat Harlem is here as well. Real quick, though.
And D Hill, LBJ.
Yep, I shout out D Hill, D Hill as well. Dr. D Hill. All right.
Don't forget it. Don't forget it.
The good doctor.
Yeah.
Rakira says, B School Mike, Cyrus should know better. Don't mess with the trophy husband. Rakira also says, when Cyrus came home and B School Mike and Ella were gone, I love Cyrus's marriage. If B School Mike was Michelle, we totally understand the marriage.
Wow.
And Dr. D Hill brings out, she says, Cyrus told us back in season 3 that he was a monster. We know that he was a monster.
Yes,
Dr.
he
D
is.
Hill, you're totally right. And on the Google Plus page, Kat Harlem brings up something, and she says that, you know, she's two things. She says, isn't Ella and Teddy about the same age? Aren't they the same age? If so, I think they look about the same age. And then she says, OMG, when Cyrus told Michael Ella is James's child, I screamed, Michael is going to disappear with Ella. This will distract Cyrus from the campaign. And Janiyah, that exact thing happened tonight.
It came true.
Michael ran off with Ella. You know what I say to that? Now Ella is about to have to go be screaming lemonade because she's going to make lemons from lemonade in her life, and she's about to be a lemonade girl, okay?
She really is. She really is, LBJ. You know, I love the way that people in their chat are pointing out the fact that this was really quite unfortunately, but it is quite a typical scenario, right? This is why 50% of marriages fail in America, right? It's because there's someone who's being faithful and there's someone who isn't, okay? And in this case, we have Michael, who even under all of this awful circumstance, you know, the two of them being forced to marry when they really didn't want to, he's trying to hold Cyrus down, LBJ. He wants to hold him down. He is taking care of that house. He is taking care of their 15-year-old daughter, okay? He's learning how to cornrow. He's learning how to crochet, shellac the edges.
Keep the right. You gotta gel those edges down.
Yes,
gel those
he
edges
is. Okay, every time we see a snapshot of that house, you know, hospital corners, hotel corners on the bed, LBJ, he's holding that man down. Yeah. All right, Brother Vargas comes creeping into Cyrus's home, trying to tempt B School Mike. Ooh, don't you see, B School Mike, that your man is stepping out on you? What did Mike do? He tried to hold his man down. He said, oh, you know what? Oh, you've got us some grainy photos. I trust my man, Brother Vargas. I'm not picking up what you're dropping. LBJ, he went as far as to say to Brother Vargas, stop calling me. I am not going to be a part of your scam. You're not going to undermine my man. LBJ, he just wants to hold Cyrus down. And then come to find out, Cyrus doesn't even hide it, okay? Instead, he owns it. It says, yes, I'm cheating on you. And instead of just saying, I'm cheating on you because I'm the worst, he blames Mike. He says, maybe if you understood your role and were doing your job, I wouldn't have to cheat on you. B School Mike says, you know what? Let's get some therapy. Let's try to figure this out. LBJ, Cyrus somehow gave B School Mike just enough hope that B School Mike, you know, helped him to execute a plan, okay, to undermine Brother Vargas. But he did exactly what I think many people do in this kind of situation is he got ghost. He took that baby, okay? He took his edge creams. He packed up the gloss spray, all right? He packed it all up, LBJ, and he took that baby and he's gone.
He took that baby and he's gone, and you who is gone even we formerly knew. What happened to Olivia Pope, Janiyah? Tonight we saw the breakdown of Olivia Pope. You mentioned therapy just a few moments ago. Olivia Pope attended her first therapy session tonight, and her first therapy session happened with the person that she probably thought that she would never receive this kind of help from, and it came from Huck. Huck knew something was going on with the one that he loves, the one that is probably like a sister to him, the one that's like a mother to him, the one who was like a counselor to him, the one who saved his life, the one who once wore the white hat, Olivia Pope. Huck knew something was going on with his Olivia. The entire episode, we've seen Olivia on 10. Her eyes were bulging. Her face was intense. She barely.
Her guy was out, LBJ.
Yeah, exactly.
That guy was out.
Her guy, it's like her guy was out.
Yeah,
and that's exactly how she was tonight.
LBJ, can you pop him out again real quick for us? Can you give it to us one more time?
What do you stay back. What do you stay back? Out!
Whoa, he really got you.
Woo.
He got you good.
Woo. I try to keep him. I try to keep him in there.
Oh my gosh, he's very aggressive.
You know, that B613 man comes out. This is like,
he's very aggressive.
As was Olivia Pope tonight. Like, her guy was very aggressive. So aggressive that she took a mug and slammed and threw it up against the wall in her office when she found out that her candidate did not receive the nomination, the governor's nomination for the state of Florida. Now, let me talk about this therapy. Let's talk about this therapy moment right here. Because we saw this entire, and we'll talk about what happened with Olivia and the campaign, Abby Red, Melly, Fitz. We'll talk about all of that. But there was something pretty special that happened today on the campaign trail. On that campaign trail, the original gladiators, Huck and Quinn, saw Olivia, and Quinn challenged Olivia. Now, Quinn Robin Lindsay being the love that I love her to be, the special woman that I love her to be, and you too, Janiyah. Can you admit it tonight? Can you admit it?
You know what? As soon as you said her name, my finger, without me even meaning to, just went over to find that sound effect. Anyway, please continue.
That's such the hater you are. Anyhow, Quinn decides she wants to challenge Olivia, and she's like, Olivia, what's going on? What's going on? How are you? You good? Like, she's like, what are you talking about, Quinn? And remember, her guy is out. She's like this, like, what are you talking about, Quinn? She's not blinking or anything. Like, what do you mean? What's going on? No, tell me. What do you, just say it, just say it. And then Huck is like, what she really means to say is, why are you here and not looking and why are you here and not trying to save Jake? What? Why am I not trying to save Jake? You want us to be over a cliff? My guy is out. You're over here because of me. And you're asking me why you should be doing the job I'm telling you to do. You work for me. My guy is out. And that's what Olivia essentially
LBJ, that was a lovely paraphrase because it's exactly what happened.
Yes.
We watched Olivia. We've been watching her over the last few episodes, LBJ, really just start to unravel. You know, what's at the root of all of this, just to remind ourselves, Olivia has committed her first murder, okay? She killed Vice President Andrew Nichols. She took him out of this earth, okay? He's gone. She killed him. He was the reason for the greatest trauma that she's ever experienced in her life. And that was being kidnapped and being put on the auction block. She took all that anger, LBJ, at him and at her life circumstance, and she killed that man. She beat him good. And so we were watching her throughout this episode deal with that turmoil. To your point, LBJ, all of the people around her were watching her and saying, oh my gosh, something's gone awry. Her guy is out. Quinn, her whackness, and Huck, his craziness.
Oh, here comes the hater.
Trying to intervene. They're trying to figure out what to do. And they're all in different ways trying to make their way through to Olivia to kind of figure out, how can we get her to start eating again? How can we get her to start, sleeping again and somehow getting back to herself? It's only Huck, LBJ. And how does he relate to her? He says, listen, I've been where you are. Your first kill, it stays with you. He goes to where she is, LBJ. He meets her where she is. And because he does that, she is able to do a couple of things. She's able to say, number one, out loud, yeah, I killed him. And on many levels, I don't regret it because I feel relieved that he is dead. And I'm happy I'm the one that did it. But it also gives her an opportunity to say that she feels very manipulated in this situation because all of this rage that she's feeling, she's directing it at the people who are around her. But the person she really wants to direct it at is her father. He was not physically present in this episode, but he was there, LBJ, in the noggin, okay, of Olivia, okay? Because what was she doing? She was trying so hard not to become him, but watching herself, LBJ, slowly morph into the monster that her father wants her to be. And so in that moment... Get away, guy! Get away! Get away! Put him away! Put him away! LBJ, we watched Olivia finally say out loud, I don't want to be my father, and I see myself turning into him. That's basically what she said. So, LBJ, I'm so happy we pointed out that moment. Now, LBJ, let's talk about the other moments where we saw Olivia interacting in tonight's episode. We've talked already about the Republican campaign side of the race. Let's go to the Democratic side where all the juice was in tonight's episode. We have 3 candidates we've got to talk about tonight, LBJ, that are on the Republican side.
Yes, okay.
All right. So, LBJ, where should we start? I know, LBJ, that you want to start us off with the context of the Liberty Report. I mean, that's your favorite thing, LBJ. You want to do it.
Wait. Now, you think you know me, but you have no idea. I have really tried my best not to open the last 5 Scandalous.
You can't hide it from us. You can't hide it from us.
With a lie from Liberty Report. Sally Langston continues to deliver the best opening monologues of this show for this campaign season, and I love it. Like the way that this woman embodies Sally Langston is amazing.
So good.
Like she lived her, she breathes her, she is her. And she says, "Oh, say, can you see love of the liberty?" It was so good. That's all I did. I'm not gonna go too much into it. It was so good. But the way that she just sits so erect behind that desk. Oh, can you see love of the liberty? I said, "Oh, Sally Langston, I love it."
So good. And I love her, LBJ, because she is just full of venom. Yes. That's what I call that. That's venom, LBJ. Because you know what she's doing? She's sitting there hating on everybody.
Everyone.
On everybody.
She sitteth upon her throneth of judgment. And she continues to hand out judgments upon every gesture that enters her royal court of the lovers of the liberties.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, we all know that all of these people are closer to getting something that she wants than she ever was. So all she's doing is hating on these people that are actually going to get to be president of the United States, one of them.
Yeah, and so one of those people that she has in there that she's hating on is she got out the gate. She is warning us. She's of this foreshadowing that's to come because they know that the Florida primary is coming down the pike, and these candidates are vying for the nomination of the governor of Florida. And so what happens? We see Hollis Doyle, we see Susan Ross, and Mellie Grant vie to race from California clear across the country to Florida's to the coast of Florida to go meet with the governor. And who makes it to the dinner, Janiyah? Only Susan and Hollis make it to the dinner. Why are they the only two that made it to the dinner? Because Abby Red decided to make a power play for the candidate that her client, her boss, the president, is supporting, Susan Ross, and she halts the plane of Mellie Grant from taking off from California to Florida. And Olivia figures out that it's Mellie behind this entire thing. Mellie designs this entire ploy to say Abby Red, thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Knock, knock, knock. Fact checker, lady just got checked. So, so Abby Red devises this plan to keep Melly grounded. Hello.
Hi. It's fact checker Jane here.
Okay. Hey, how are you? Good evening. Welcome.
LBJ, you were just a little off there with your factoids. Okay, it was Abby Red that was concocting this master plan. Please continue. Bye now.
Bye. Thank you. So she takes this entire plan, and and Melly is grounded in California. They figure out what's going on because it seems too fishy, and they say that Air Force One is having mechanical difficulties, and no airplanes are to take off until Air Force One is good to go. Olivia calls Abby Red's bluff on the telephone, and she's like, look, I know what's going on. Don't try to play this. You can get us up and off the ground. Do it. Oh, no, I can't do that. Here's my power play, Olivia. You thought I work for you. No, honey boo-boo child. You work for me. You're at my mercy now. So what does Olivia do after Marcus Walker says, oh, I wish we could just shove the plane off of the runway so we can go? Olivia says, her guy is out.
He's out again.
We don't have to shove it, but we can shame it off of the runway. Boom, 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 boom. This entire media storm ensues where the press is wanting to know from Abby Red what is going on with Air Force One. They are called an unnamed source from Melly's camp says that they're bluffing. We're calling their bluff. Go to Air Force One and ask what's going on. And then the gladiating begins. It's a ping pong tournament. Take us through the tournament, Janiyah.
LBJ, don't mind if I do. So we have these two candidates here that are really, at the end of the day, we are watching the candidates and their advocates be at war. Okay. Advocate number one is Abby Red, who is advocating very hard and working for Susan Roth. Advocate number two, the guy herself, okay, Olivia. And so these are the two that are at war in this scenario. And so we're watching this play out on so many levels. We know the history of Abby Red and Olivia. It is so far beyond this election, okay? These two have gone from friend to enemy to frenemy to friend again. And currently, they are completely at odds. Why are they at odds, LBJ? They're at odds because we are watching Abby Red move into power, and we're watching Olivia fight for power. So all of that undertone is happening. And so we start to see them do little things to undermine each other. Olivia won't let Gabby in the elevator, okay? They're throwing each other that, no, you didn't, sister girl. Look, all the time, day in, day out, every time they see each other, walking down the hallway, seeing who can do the fastest power walk, okay? Nobody wins. It's a tie, okay? So all of this undercurrent, and we find ourselves here on the tarmac, Abby Red controlling Olivia, saying, no, your plane is not going anywhere. Your candidate is not going to make that dinner with the governor of Florida, whose endorsement you're after, okay? And so what ends up happening, we see, as you said, LBJ, that the media is brought into it, but the real work is done not by the media. Oh, no. It's done.
Wait, y'all. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Janiyah, take your walk. Take your moment.
The real work is done where it's happening inside the planes, LBJ. All right. Let's really quickly. Abby Red over in Air Force One. Gabby wants her guy to come out, but we haven't found him yet. So she's like posturing. She's like, I'm Miss Grumpy. I'm super mean too, like everybody else. Oh, Abby, you have no guy. So everybody knows that, so please be quiet. So she's over there in Air Force One trying to call Olivia and say little smart remarks. I'm the boss of you, girlfriend. You're grounded. She's over there trying to check Fitz. Fitz, go back to your office and sit down, okay? I'm running this here show. I'm the boss of everything. Look at me. I'm so powerful. Meanwhile, on the other side of the tarmac, there's a whole other bunch of crazy going on, okay? We're watching Melly literally spin out of control, okay? Yeah. She's been working so hard to be more likable, but at the end of the day, she is a bitch. And so it just keeps popping out, LBJ, over and over again. And so what do we see, LBJ? we see her start to flip out. And all of us did a collective all around the world eye roll. Oh, Lord, here go Melly again. The only person who could shush her and then proceeded to do it was who? My fiance, the love of my life. He's in here now. Honey, I'm about to shout you out. Marcus. Okay, I just called you out, honey. LBJ. Marcus, my man, he checks her. Okay, checks her good. Sticks her lip with a look and a shush. Okay.
No, it wasn't even a shush. It was one word. He's sitting there like this. He was like on the laptop. She's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. He's like, he said, Melly. And she said, oh. She got it together.
She really did, LBJ. She froze and just walked away and zipped her lip. Yep. So we're watching. So now Melly's now out of the way. Who else is going crazy? Olivia. She's running around now crazy. Her guy is out. Her guy's bouncing off the walls of the plane. Huck and Quinn are trying to calm her down. Okay, clearly that's not panning out. All right. And so Marcus, he goes in to talk to Melly, toward the back of the plane. And LBJ, you have to take us through this conversation between Melly and my boo.
Let me just say, I'll sum this conversation up real quick.
Do it.
What ended up happening is Melly and Marcus are in like close quarters in some like galley of the airplane, watching this monitor, and Melly's watching this monitor. This is Melly watching the monitor, right? This is the iPad is Melly watching the monitor. Let's get in the shot. So
yeah, we see it.
Let's bring it right here.
Yeah, no, I
got a little confused for a second. So iPad is Melly watching the monitor, right? I'm watching TV. All of a sudden, enter Marcus. What could happen? Do you know what you can do? Melly's like, what? Like, here's what you need to do. You could change this game. You could change the narrative, and you can change this entire strategy with one move. What do you mean? You need to just do what I tell you to do. I'm going to tell you to go walk down this door onto that tarmac and draw some attention to you, and we will act as if this conversation never, ever happened. And then he moved a little bit closer to her. Did you notice how he moved a little bit closer to her?
Yes.
So then
when we were rehearsing the night before.
Is that how you practice it, Janiyah?
That's right. He moved in real close to me in rehearsals. But anyway, please continue.
So Melly continues onto the tarmac, and another media storm ensues, and then they're like, "Oh my God, first lady, man, talk to us, microphone, pen, paper, cameras, TMZ." It was all crazy, all kinds of crazy.
Everybody in the chat is loving you right now. Dr. D. Hill said LVJ is out of control. Hashtag reenactment. LVJ, you're out of control right now. Please continue. Please don't stop. We love it.
So like TMZ. Yes. And so then Melly's like, walk. And she just stands erect and she just looks and then she waits and they're like, the first lady emerges from the aircraft. She's standing on the tarmac. We don't know what she's about to do, but she's facing Air Force One.
Yes.
Oh, the first lady's she's raising her hand, and the first lady's waving. She's waving, trying to get the attention of the president. The former first lady's trying to get the attention of her ex-husband. Ladies and gentlemen, we see Senator Melly Grant in front of her campaign plane, between that plane and Air Force One, waving at her ex-husband. Let's see who shall emerge from Air Force One. And Olivia's like, what is going on? Why is she out there? Who did this? Why did this happen? My guy is still out. And all the gladiators are like, well, I didn't do it. Meanwhile, neophyte, rookie gladiators is like, he's in the back, like singing in the background, like he's just chilling, right?
It's so good.
And she looks at him and she says, "You go out there and you reel her back in." He was just like, "No, we're good." Like, no, he said, it's too late. It's too late. You can't do that. And what happens? It works, Janiyah. We see something that works. Now, this is another time that we see Marcus Walker really go for broke and go rogue, but in a good way. And it makes OPA shine. It makes him shine and emerge as a leader, as the one crying out in the wilderness of OPA and associates. And what I want to also say is that I wouldn't be surprised if Marcus Walker decides to slide in the DMs of one Melly Grant. I'm just saying. It goes down in the DM.
You know what, LBJ? The truth is that Marcus Walker has a history. And we talked about this last episode. We know what he's into, and it's something that looks a lot like Melly Grant. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
It had to be
a Tribe Called Quest.
Had to be said, okay? Marcus, we're picking up what you're dropping, honey.
Oh, yeah.
So there's Melly, LBJ. She's there on the tarmac. She's done her wave. And Fitz does exactly what Marcus knew he would do. Fitz comes off of the plane. And Abby Red tries to stop him. Fitz, don't you do this. You can't do this. I'm the boss of you. I run you. You do what I say. Fitz literally barely gave her eye contact. And he just went about his life and took himself right on out into the tarmac. And he's there talking to Melly. And LBJ, it was the most wonderful scene, you know, because what it really reminded all of us of was of Fitz and Melly when they were in their heyday, right? This is when Fitz and Melly were playing the game, okay? When they were hot, you know, when they were in character all the time. And we watched them walk out of their broken marriage bedroom into the spotlight. Bam, character on. LBJ, they were there together in character once again, and they're there on the tarmac. That conversation, basically, Melly says, obviously you're playing some little game right now with this plane. I really need you to move the plane.
Wait, Janaya, no, you be Melly, I be Fitz, go.
Okay. Honey, you know, I really need you to move this plane so I can get to Florida and win this governor's endorsement.
You know I can't do that, right?
Honey, listen, you know, at the end of the day, you are acting like this is about me. And we all know who it's really about. It's about Olivia. LBJ.
You can't really trust her. You know that, don't you, Melly? You can't really trust her.
And what are you talking about? She's only, you know, the mistress that broke up my marriage and is now my campaign manager. What do you mean I can't trust her?
You don't know? You don't know Olivia?
No, what? Andrew? What? That was Liz. That was Lizzie Bear DeGeneres.
Melly, the cameras are 20 yards away. Move in closer. It was Olivia. Right, exactly. Yes,
Olivia.
Exactly. Yes.
Olivia, what do you mean?
She did it. It was Olivia with her bare hands.
What? Olivia with her LBJ, what did Fitz just tell Melly? Fitz has just told Melly, guess who took out Andrew? Who's Andrew to you, Melly? That was your number one boo, wasn't it, Melly? Yeah, it was. Guess who took him out? It's who? My number one boo. That's basically LBJ. What was so interesting, though, was Melly's reaction. Melly's reaction to finding out that Olivia had literally, with her own hands, murdered Vice President Andrew Nichols.
Yes.
Her reflex response, LBJ, she basically said, well, good for Olivia. You know, and she goes on to have a conversation with Fitz right there on the tarmac, smiling all the while, LBJ, about how she is watching her deteriorate. Yes. And she's telling Fitz, she's not eating, she's not sleeping, you know, I have to force her to eat, you know, and Fitz, of course, immediately, you know, you say Olivia's in trouble, he's ready to take action.
Yeah,
okay.
And he's there. He asked her. He's like, it's, you know, Janai, it's almost like they treated her as if she was a puppy of sorts. It's like,
yeah, like their little pet.
Like, are you walking the dog? Did you walk the dog today? Did you feed the dog? Did you change did you check on the dog? Did you give the dog medicine?
LBJ.
Like, he says, is she eating? Is she sleeping? Is she running? There's these three things that he knows that Olivia has to do be functioning. And he checks on these things over and over again. And Melly absorbs that. I loved watching them strategize tonight. I was a fan of Fitz and Melly from the onset. And I missed that about their relationship. So it was amazing seeing them do that tonight on the show. I love that.
It was so good, LBJ. And it was so interesting. You talked about them talking about Olivia like she was a pet. I felt like they were talking about her, LBJ, like she was just any old possession. Okay. And LBJ, whose voice did I hear in the back of my mind? You know, everybody's favorite mother, LBJ,
yes.
reminding Olivia. What is the statement, LBJ, that Olivia's mother told her to help Olivia understand the reality of her relationships with Fitz and Melly?
Livy, you think you're something to those people, but you're nothing but the help. They always
LBJ, you know we love it. We know we love it when you do Mama Pope.
Oh,
LBJ, they were literally just talking about Olivia like she was just some little thing that they're responsible for taking care of, and she was not being taken care of well. And you know what they did? They put together a game plan to take care of their possession. And the game plan was for Fitz to get that plane moved. Okay? And LBJ, that is exactly what he did. Now, the plane is moving. The Air Force One is moving. Melly is now back on her plane and she's able to leave. You know, the media, of course, observes it, but we're more interested in what's happening inside the Melly plane. And it's Olivia confronting Melly saying, did you really accomplish your goal? Did you really? You know, all of this we've been doing.
Yes, all. Come on, Janiyah.
We were trying to get you to Florida so that you could make that dinner with the governor of Florida because we wanted you to get her vote. Okay, and you know what? You're not getting her vote because you're late for dinner. We're not going to make it. And then Melly does what you should never do to Olivia. She called her out. She said, well, you seem to be giving me a lot of hot air here, girlfriend. You seem to be really little hot under the collar. Come up with some solutions or be quiet. LBJ, Olivia comes up with a solution, and the next scene we see, it's not just Melly walking into dinner late with the governor of Florida. It is Melly and Fitz. Yes. And that governor of Florida stands right at attention for the president of the United States. And before you know it, Melly is sitting there, and all of a sudden she's the guest of honor. Don't play with Olivia. We've learned that time and time again.
It was good. Did you see how Olivia gave all the looks around the table, especially to Abby Red when she had to stop next to her former sister girl? Yes. Oh man, it was.
Their relationship right now is so deep. We could do a whole recap episode just on their relationship and just watching it, how it's evolved, and just peeling back that onion. Oh, it's so deep. It's so deep, LBJ.
It is so deep. What also is so deep, and I've been waiting to talk about this with you. As you know, tonight I started off this episode of the Scandal Recap. Buckle Up was the name of it. The name of the episode, but I started off with what was the Scandal Jam session tonight. Nina Simone's "Take Me to the Water."
Take me to the water. So good.
So we heard that tonight, but Janiyah, the Scandal Jam session went down in a scene between David Rosen and Susan Ross after this dinner we just talked about. And we didn't even, as you all know, we do this show live. Like, there's no rehearsal, there is no script. This is all off the cuff. This is us. This is raw conversations between us and you. We don't plan this. We just find it and go with it. And Janiyah set this thing up perfectly because we saw this moment where Susan Ross and David Rosen have been beefing in the hotel suite, you know, traveling on the campaign trail. Susan Ross is still mad at David Rosen. So he's like in and out the bed. Her back is to him and she feels feelings. And as I predicted, David Rosen also caught feelings for Susan Ross. So what ended up happening? Susan Ross and David Rosen go back to the hotel suite after the dinner with this governor. They go back to the bedroom, and prior to that, David pulls this move where Susan is enamored with his integrity. And the man that she once fell in love with, that was real juicy. The one that she once fell in love with was coming back to her. And he reached up from the floor because he was sleeping on the floor, and she reached down to reach to him, and they held hands, and they both felt the feeling. Now, David Rose felt the feeling for two reasons. One, because he set up learned that he set up the nomination to come from the governor by making a promise to call off an investigation that he has with the Attorney General's office. And then he also felt the feelings for his girl, Susan Ross. Susan Ross felt the quiver. We saw Susan Ross quiver tonight. The spirits do transfer. And the spirit of quivering transferred from Olivia to Susan Ross tonight. Janiyah, tell me what you thought about that scene. I actually put in my notes bold, ask Janiyah about this scene.
Well, LBJ, I'm glad that you're asking me about this scene because I have many things to say. But more than anything, LBJ, I just want to talk about the vicious cycle, okay? And when I saw that scene, the thing that played out for me is that we are watching the evolution of broken relationships just cycle over and over again through this episode and throughout this show.
Give us a takeaway, okay? Fix our lives.
LBJ, we're watching Susan Ross move from complete hatred because of a violation, and she's moving now into forgiveness. You know, we couldn't help but think back just in that quick second to the last time somebody forgave somebody, right? That was Olivia and Jake. That was Olivia and Jake. Who else had some forgiveness that has now gone awry? Gabby, Abby, Red, and Olivia, right? Yes. Fitz and Olivia, they forgave each other 1,000,000 times, right? And at the end of the day, are any of these relationships in a positive, in a sustaining way? They aren't, LBJ. At the end of the day, you know, you got to call a spade a spade. It has to be said. And LBJ, before we get off this scene, LBJ, the opportunity that David had to remind Susan that he was a virtuous person was in response to Governor of Florida, who turned out to be a person of minimal character. But I will tell you who played the heck out of that character, and that was Annie Potts. LBJ.
Yes.
Annie Potts walked in, stole the scene. Dan Blakemore called her out in the chat. Shout out to Annie Potts for bringing something special to the portrayal of the Florida governor. Hashtag designing women. Hashtag Ghostbusters. Hashtag throwback. Had to be done. LBJ, she walked in the room. And before she even said anything, we knew exactly what kind of woman she was. That is the kind of beast that Annie Potts is, okay? Walked in, LBJ, set the tone for us, made it very clear that she was up to no good, and then proceeded to try to manipulate every single candidate. At the end of the day, though, LBJ, she did give her nomination to Susan. And to your point, it was because David did the exact opposite of what endeared him to Susan, and he went ahead and he shook hands with Annie Potts' character, with Governor of Florida, and made that bad deal. Susan got the nomination. Susan got her support, but at the end of the day, Susan didn't win Florida. Hollis Doyle ended up winning Florida, LBJ. Yes. So Mellie didn't win it. Susan didn't win it. Hollis Doyle, who was just whack attack 2016, okay,
but
ended up
I will say,
winning.
But we have to also point out the social commentary that Scandal continues to do through Shonda Rhimes. And if anyone watched the Essence special, that luncheon that they had for amazing women in LA that they aired on the OWN network, you heard Debbie Allen say that, and Debbie Allen, she makes a proclamation as only a Howard University graduate could when giving an award presentation. She says, and Shonda Rhimes seems to be writing this current presidential election in the script of Scandal. And then Shonda Rhimes was like, and guess who won? Guess who won Florida? Donald J. Trump, a.k.a. Hollis Doyle. We see you, Shonda Rhimes. I see what you're doing. And I know if you see us, Shonda, you know. But that we pretty much recapped the episode at this point tonight. I mean, the Q&A is jumping, we need to hop into this before we do takeaways or predictions.
Let's do it. Yeah, LBJ, I love the Q&A. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Let's
go into it. Round robin.
Round robin. Here we go. Rakira is here. Alex should be happy. That's all that Cyrus did. He could have sent Tom after him.
And listen, it ain't over till it's over. Okay, Tom. By next week, Tom might be hot on the trail. Okay, but I'm going to tell you. We've said it many times. There is no scorn like the scorn that is the result of someone you love playing your face. Okay, so I'll tell you this. B-School Mike, wherever he is, he's executing a plan that's been in place for a while.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Wait a second. So Dan Blakemore was rebuking the devil and the devourer and everything else. I guess when I was doing my impersonation, Dan says, I hope that Candace has some holy water to keep that B613 out of your house. LBJ, hashtag hallelujah. And then he says, he comes back, I rebuke it on your behalf, Candace. Hashtag prayer warriors unite. Hashtag somebody page Dean Richardson.
And LBJ, Candace said, LOL at Dan Blakemore, I have blessed oil on hand. Candace was already in the kitchen. She was getting it. She said, now Larry's guy is out. What am I gonna do?
Like, devil, get out of my house! Devil, get out of my house!
It's so good. LBJ, we have to call out, Rakira in the chat. Huck was magnificent, but let's get real. How jacked up must your life have to be when Huck is the one to bring you solace? When Olivia's guy came out with Huck, Guillermo is such a great actor. You could sense Huck's horror at meeting Olivia's guy. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for that, Rakira, because we were talking about Olivia's guy. We didn't talk about the fact that Huck was mortified to watch her guy be out. Thank you for calling that out, because you have to remember, Olivia's this precious little thing to him, right? She's his precious, right? Like that's
I think that was a demon. I think that was a demon. Wait.
Candace,
get out of Janaya. Get out of Janaya. Get out of Janaya. Come on.
Okay, I'm back. So LBJ, that was just a demon, honey. Marcus asked me what was going on. That was just a demon. It's out. Okay, so thank you, Rakira, because Huck was mortified to see Olivia's guy out. Thank you for not letting us miss that.
Yes. Dr. D. Hill says, Liv and Abby. That was so funny. Liv and Abby remind me of Betty and Veronica
why I was yelling.
From the. Oh, you wonder why you were yelling?
He was wondering why I was yelling. Yeah.
Oh, Dr. D. Hill says, Liv and Abby remind me of Betty and Veronica from the Archie comics. I could totally see that. Like, they're on again, off again, on again, off again, on again, off again.
Yes. And Dr. D. Hill is just, recapping what we were talking about, that hashtag Huck recognized Liv was too far gone. It's so true. I mean, it was early in the episode where Huck was saying, you know what? That guy's out. It was early in the episode. Everybody else was nervous. Huck had already diagnosed the problem.
Yes. Oh, Dr. D. Hill is back again. So we have to add another one to the list of Mellies. We have fried chicken Melly, cussing Melly, ugwearing Melly, smelly Melly, stinking Melly, moonshine Melly. Today we add waving Melly. Hashtag waving Melly.
Waving Melly.
Good job, D. Hill.
And great, you know what? If Melly ever makes her way to an action figure, that's the Melly that's going to make the action figure, right? Because that's classic Melly.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
LBJ, we have to just shout out one more time Dr. D. Hill, because she was thanking you for the visuals on how Melly was listening to Marcus. LBJ, your reenactments tonight, they were everything. We thank you so much.
Wait.
So good.
She had an inner quiver. That's what she had. She had an inner quiver
she did.
When he said, he was like, Melly.
Yeah. I think we all quiver a little when Marcus talks. But anyway, please continue.
You rehearsed it with some good job for you tonight. You rehearsed it.
Thank you. Totally he calls me his muse.
Shout out to people who just joined us later as well. For those of you who just joined us, Yolanda Baker, YR Baker in the house. There's someone else that joined us finally. Janiyah Gigi Johnson is here. Gigi said, love you, Scandal family. Finally able to hear LBJ and Janiyah. I had some tech difficulties.
Yay.
She says, I think my computer has a guy. Well, look, Gigi, let me tell you. Come closer. If your computer has a guy, get in that guy's face and go, Rah! In the guy's face.
LBJ, quit scaring us. Oh my God. Dan Blakemore in the chat is calling out your favorite caricature, LBJ, Sally. Sally throws all the shade in caps, all the shade, as if she didn't get this show after stabbing her husband like she was a guest in Clue. Hashtag, where's Colonel? Hashtag, where's Colonel Mustard? Hashtag, what about the candlestick? I can't think. Where is Colonel Mustard?
Dan, that is by far the best comment you've ever posted. That is by far the best.
LBJ, you know what I'm about to do? I'm screen printing it. You guys know I'm so whack. I screen print my favorite moment.
You are. Wait,
I
hold
love
on.
it.
Somebody.
Who is it? Come in.
Hi, how are you?
Hi,
I'm fantastic fact checker Frank. I'm here to tell you that it's not called a screen print in 2016. It's called a screenshot.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, fact checker Bob. I'll get my whackness in check. Thank you for stopping by. Bye now. Who is it?
Hi, it's not fact checker Bob. I said my name was fantastic fact checker Frank tonight, not fact checker Bob.
Thank you for stopping by, Frank. We appreciate you.
Oh,
I'm going to be a better person in 2016.
This has been so good. This has been so good. So listen, do you have any predictions or takeaways tonight, Janiyah?
Oh my gosh, LBJ, I'm going to tell you this. Susan Ross, honey, she's on a roller coaster, okay? We've seen it a million times. But I'm going to tell you this. Susan Ross has yet to find out who the jump off was for David Rosen. And so I am continuing to predict I think we're going to see Susan Ross's guy any day now. I've been wanting to see her. We've seen him peeking out, coming out, looking around. Okay, that guy is coming out, LBJ. So that's my one prediction. My other prediction, LBJ, is that Olivia is going to do some kind of intervention with Jake. We know that. We know it's coming. We can't let Jake go. You know, the other thing is, LBJ, I have a question. Are we going to get through this entire rest of the season without seeing Mama Pope? I just wanted her to come in and drop a little knowledge.
So am I cutting you off? Can I go?
No, go, LBJ.
Let me tell you. So that was one of my points of contention tonight. I'm like, we got 2 episodes left in this, and we've yet to see Mama Pope. I'm very disheartened. I'm very disappointed. Why have we not seen Mama Pope? We need her to come and make some kind of statement. She is watching her daughter. Remember, she wants to watch her daughter. She wanted to pick up things, and she wanted cable so she can see her baby on TV. That's what she wanted. But she needs. A mother knows her child. That is flesh of her flesh, bone of her bone. She needs to come and step in and have a Livy moment with her. We need to see something like that happen this season. We've seen a lot transpire with Papa Pope, but nothing with Mama Pope this season. Speaking of Papa Pope has a close finger on his daughter. His daughter is at her breaking point at this point. And Huck is the one that has been there to pick her up off the ground. I think that we're going to see Olivia make an attempt towards her father that Huck is going to save her from. I think that Huck knows Olivia's motives because he's been there before. Olivia cannot go into the hole, so to prevent her from going into the hole, he is going to save her from destruction with her father. Now, does that mean that Huck won't try to strategize an attempt with something and with Rowan? That remains to be seen. If that is the case, we also have to be mindful of Tom. We need to keep our eye on Tom before this season is out. I have a feeling Tom might strike and do something that either Cyrus or Rowan puts him up to. That's all I've got for predictions.
LBJ, well, that's plenty. That's plenty, honey. You give it to us so good. LBJ, you know, you've got that insight, that Shonda Rhimes connection. And we're just so grateful for it. And LBJ, because of your great insights, I have to shout out on our YouTube page, Lion Hardison, who is in Germany, saying Germany is watching us.
Hey! Leon, what's up,
Germany
man?
is watching, you guys. Can't get through to Google Plus, but he is watching. OMG. We've got Toronto tonight. We've got Germany. And LBJ, we are streaming live in Atlanta on CAU TV. This is an epic night for the Scandal recap.
It is. If you missed the announcement at the beginning of the broadcast, we are now streaming live on CAU TV in Atlanta, and over 1 million households because of people like you. Give it up! Yes.
I just can't believe it. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much. It's so much fun. We are just such a fun community here. We look forward to this every week.
We do. We totally do. And we love you for watching. We will see you here next Thursday at 10:05 p.m. Eastern Time, here on YouTube, here on Google Plus, here in Google Hangout, all over the internet, and on CAU TV in Atlanta, Georgia. Shout hey! We'll see you next week, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.